Now the dust has settled on the North London derby defeat. Many people have called into question Thomas Frank's tenure so far at Tottenham Hotspur. And after that North London derby defeat, many people have questioned Frank because of the tactics that he showed. It was obvious we were going to lose within the first 3 minutes. It was just clear as day it was not good enough. So today on the talkSPORT YouTube channel, we're going to be analysing Thomas Frank, all the sort of talk of him being in or out, and see if he should be given a chance further on for this season. But before we go any further, if you are new to the talkSPORT YouTube channel and you just discovered me right here, right now, then get down below, leave your likes, subscribe, hit the notification bell because it'll let you know when I go live, and also let me know in the comments down below, do you want Frank sacked or are you happy to give him some time? I want to open then with a quote, and it's a quote that Thomas Frank said when he was appointed Tottenham Hotspur manager, and it went something like this. I always say this one line: if you don't take risks, you also take risk. So I think it's important that we take risks. If you don't risk the ball, you can't create anything. Now, Thomas, you might want to take some of your own advice there, mate, because I've not seen any risks. The motto of this club, as you Spurs fans will know, is to dare is to do. We do neither this season. It's been pretty poor. And you've just got to go back through the last couple of games. Your Arsenals, your Chelsea, Wolves, Aston Villa, Bournemouth. It's been quite a underwhelming few results for Thomas Frank. There's been some positives. You've got to think of Burnley and Man City, PSG in the Super Cup, even though we lost that. Everton, West Ham, some good wins there. And Thomas Frank, as many of you will know, I've been a big admirer of him. I've been a massive admirer of him. But, yes, you know, the result the other day was not good enough. It was not good enough. And if you're going to the Emirates, setting up like that, which I understand, you know, I thought we would go for a back three with DMs. But to play in that manner where you're not even showing fight, grit, and determination, it's just not good enough. And some of the excuses I've seen, some of the, you know, atmosphere from Frank, even, you know, in his press conference saying that, bringing up that we finished 17th last year, which it was quite shocking when I heard it. Whoa, 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 whoa. Stop right there. Before you go any further, guys, a large majority of you, and the stat is on screen right now, are not subscribed to the talkSPORT YouTube channel. What are you doing? Come on, we are growing. We're closing in, hopefully, on 11,000 subscribers. We keep growing and growing and growing. I'm really chuffed for that. Thank you guys very much. So before you go any further and we play the next part of this video, get down below and like it, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and also hype the video because it helps with the old algorithm. Get your comments in as well. I'm always keen to have a debate with my fellow Spurs fans, but enough of me waffling on. Let's get on with the video.
Thomas, needless to say, a tough day here.
Yeah, unbelievable, tough, painful day in every aspect. It's I 100% feel the pain. I understand all the fans feel the pain. And especially because the performance were not good, which is disappointing. It was not what I expected. I was actually extremely confident going into this game. We would be competitive. I knew it would be tough in every aspect. I didn't say we would go in and just completely dominate, but I knew we could be competitive, which we weren't on the day, unfortunately. And I can only apologize for that. It's my responsibility in every aspect. We especially first half, I think, wanted to go more after them. We never really managed to do that, to get close enough to put the high pressure. And when they went long, to win the second ball and play from there, was too few occasions. Yeah.
I mean, the goals did seem to knock us a little bit as well, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they had the ball a lot in the beginning of the game, but they didn't create a lot. And then the first goal came, and then after that, if you can avoid the second one, go to halftime, because we know in games that can be very tough spells. You get through them, and then you get back in the game a little bit on momentum. But we didn't manage to do that today.
I know, look, football, you deal with these sort of things, but how do you pick them up from here? Then we go to the European Championship in a week, don't we?
Yeah, of course, that's the thing. But as I say, 24 hours rule. We need to be disappointed, painful, suffer, and then we need to move forward again. That's the only way thing. That is stand up again, go forward. When you have a big hit, you need to show resilience and go again.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much.
So after that result, if you saw my post-match reaction, you could tell I was quite angry. I was angry at the players. I was not happy with Thomas Frank, and I blamed lots of different reasons for it. And news has come out actually in the last 24 hours or so from Matt Law from the Telegraph saying Tottenham Hotspur want to give Thomas Frank time to get things right, despite fears around the club that Frank's numerous changes have contributed to inconsistency and the team's lack of attacking potency. Some players are thought to be keen for Frank to focus more on the strengths of his own team rather than the opposition, although it is unclear how strong and widespread that feeling is. So they're going to give him time, which I think is the right idea. I believe that PSG this week will be a tricky game. I'm hoping to be at the game, but so hopefully we see a result. Still up and down whether I'm going to the game, but hopefully I should be there. Subscribe if you think I'll be there. But there are moments where, you think the next few games are more important. You've got Fulham, Newcastle and Brentford. They are 3 massive games. Newcastle I'm not really optimistic about, but Fulham and Brentford, we've got to be winning them, and comfortably and convincingly. Because I'll be honest, I'll give my opinions now. I want Thomas Frank to succeed. I really wanted him to come to the football club, and my one worry is if you do sack him, we just go in a vicious cycle again. We just go again, trying to look for a new manager. And you name the manager in the comments down below. You name any manager, Iriola, Pochettino return, Glasner. They'll have the same issues. It's got to change all around. And it's on Thomas Frank as well to change, because at the moment, I think those quotes are right from Matt Law. He's thinking about the opposition more than he's thinking about this Spurs team. He goes to the Emirates not wanting to lose, but you lose 4-1 anyway, so it's a bit of a strange one in obvious terms. So it is quite frustrating to me when you just sit there and you really want this team to achieve something. You really think that it's going in the right direction. There has been some positives this season. There has. I know many people, there's people in my comments and on social media who want Ange back and want all that. No, it was right to sack Ange, and it's right to move on under a different manager. It hasn't been positive, but Thomas Frank will know that he needs to improve this side. It's obvious what he needs to do. It's just the best way to sum it up is it is like we're playing with the handbrake on, and I know that's an easy and maybe lazy term to say because, it's just thrown out there saying just take the handbrake off them. But there's moments in games where it is just like the players are scared to attack. They're scared to take risks. And that's why I say that quote at the beginning, because there is no risk. There is no trying for goal. Like some of the XG numbers we have conceded this season have been absolutely abysmal. The stats at the moment are not looking good and healthy for Spurs. It is just really, really worrying. And when the league is so competitive this year, winning 3 points can shoot you up into top 4, or if you lose, you could go down like to the bottom half of the table. It really is a season where you've got to be picking up points. And don't get me wrong, Arsenal, in hindsight, they're on a different stratosphere. They're so much better than we are currently. So I was expecting us to lose, but just losing in that manner is just not good at any level. You expect some fight against these teams, whether it be Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Chelsea. And we're just seeing no fight in some of them. I mean, we saw a fight in City. Where was that performance? That performance to City went man for man, really played well, some really good individual performances. Not seen that, really. There was a few games against Everton and West Ham where we did play, dynamic and a bit front foot, and use set pieces to our advantage. But I haven't seen that in recent weeks. It has been very, very dire. But there's a lot of fans up and down the country, Spurs fans, who are very on the fence about Thomas Frank.
Speaking of plans, let's talk about Thomas Frank and his plan then, because so many people yesterday were messaging me, ringing up on the final word on talkSPORT with Pards, and were saying he's out of his depth was one of the big ones I kept hearing. He's got to go now. I can't. How patient are we supposed to be with Thomas Frank? I personally find it crazy to think about trying to sack him now. Like, it starts to become embarrassing for us as a club.
You cannot keep chopping and changing.
Can you
Someone
imagine?
needs to have an opportunity.
Can you imagine being in a relationship, and like 6 dates in, you've got together, and all of a sudden, Look over there, Glasner's at that other table. They look like they're having a nice meal. We should go and get them.
Well, there's a trophy over there.
Yeah, I know. Like, we're never going to be happy. No. And I think this is why we do get bantered a lot by other clubs and other teams. We've just won a trophy, and you can mug it off as much as you want with people. Yeah, we had a lovely night. Done. That's off the back. Now's the time to rebuild. What's happened in the last 6 years at the club of going between all these different managers has set us back 10 years, in my opinion. Because there's no trajectory for the youth team to come through. There's no team that you can build. Who was out there that game yesterday, was like Molly saying, to tell someone, this is the North London derby. Do you know what this means to us? There was no one there.
But they won a trophy, so you'd hope that they had a bit of a winning mentality.
Again, they've taken the manager out of that. Yep. So that's gone as well. So is Thomas Frank the man to lead us forward? I'm going to start with you, Darren. Is Thomas Frank the man to lead Tottenham Hotspur forward? You're unsure.
It remains but it remains to be seen whether he's the man to take us to that success of winning trophies year on year, which, look, we can say we've won that trophy last year. That's the monkey off our back now. We can concentrate on progressing. Progressing for me is winning more trophies in the coming years. Is he that man? We don't know yet. It's still so early days. To say he's out of his depth, I think is harsh, extremely harsh. I mean, this was one of the most sought-after managers when he was at Brentford, and the job he was doing there, and people saying he deserves the opportunity.
He's also come out recently and said he saw Man United and Chelsea. Why didn't they go for him?
Yeah, well, yeah. Look, I can't answer that question. Of course, I'm not the powers that be at those clubs. But I can't answer those questions. But all I can say is I thought he deserved an opportunity at a higher club. Yeah. Which, no disrespect to Brentford, I think they'd agree. Spurs is a bigger club than Brentford. Whether we finished below them or not last season, who cares? He deserves the opportunity. And to say, a third of the way through the season that he's out of his depth with one small transfer window behind him, the stuff that was happening with Daniel Levy as well behind the scenes, I think he needs some consistent time. I think this is going to take 2, 3, maybe 4 transfer windows, by the way, to sort this probably mess out. And when I say transfer window, I'm also including Madders coming back, Kulusevski coming back, Solanke coming back. They're going to feel like new signings. Because in terms of the leadership on the pitch, I looked at yesterday and I thought, where's our match winners? No. Apart from Kudus, maybe, if he's on his day, we have no match winners. So they're all injured. No one really says anything about that, but they mention all of Arsenal's injuries, but that's fine. But I think he deserves an opportunity, and you can't just keep chopping and changing managers. You need to be have a bit more reality in terms of let him have his time and let him focus on his time and let us see where he can take this club.
Molly, is he the man for you?
I'm really struggling, if I'm honest.
What is it you're not convinced with?
The things that I find difficult is that I don't think I could name 5 games this season where we've played well. And I think that the same issues that we were seeing in some of the opening fixtures are the same issues that we're seeing now. I'm not for 1 minute saying we should sack him. I completely agree. This manager merry-go-round that we've been stuck in for years, it needs to stop. But we're in November now. He doesn't know his best 11. No. That worries me a lot. And it's like I said, it's the same issues we're seeing since the beginning of the season. I worry that I think he is a brilliant man. I think he is a tactical genius. And I do think that given the right amount of time, he will get somewhere. I worry that his ceiling is 5th or 6th and Europa League standards. That's my issue. And for Spurs, if we don't now, within the next 5 years, let's say, go and win another trophy of any calibre, that Europa League will get written off as a fluke. And then with
like one day Ramos again, wasn't it? Like that was a fluke, and he won
exactly.
It.
And then we're in the same position where we've got the same monkey on our back of, well, you don't win anything, your bottle jobs, you don't do anything. And so if we don't now kick on and win something else, or put ourselves back in that successful kind of stature, then we're going to be in the same place we were before we won the Europa League. And for me, Thomas Frank's not the man that's going to win us a trophy.
Says a no. Sonny?
How long we got left on the clock? I mean, last night was the first time I've called him out, because the last couple of weeks, even like after Wolves and Villa and all those games I mentioned, I was like, but it is early. But now it's come to that stage where you know, that quote you read out at the beginning, even I said to some of my Spurs mates, I was like, he won't do a Mourinho or a Conte. He's not that sort of manager. But the fact he mentioned 17th place in his post-match press conference yesterday, I was like, oh, he's getting a bit, you know, not spiky, but there was a moment where I thought, oh, he has got a bit of that side to him where he could maybe go at like journalists or, you know, question Spurs, his mentality. The problem is, like, even, you know, people have been calling out Ruben Amorim at Manchester United, but he did win the Portuguese league, rank that win where you want. But, you know, Thomas Frank hasn't won a sausage in his career. He always got in his, like, portfolio is he did well with Brentford, punching above their weight, don't get me wrong. But the other issue, you look at Brentford right now under Keith Andrews, they're looking all right, if not quite a bit more dynamic up top with Dango.
Is that not Thomas Frank's team, though? Because we can't use that on one and not on the other.
But then how long do we go? Like, for example, I never liked when people called, like, last year's Liverpool team Klopp's team. Yeah. It's still Arne Slot who's setting that up. I know they didn't bring any players, but it was still a different style of play. And people said, well, Klopp's football was getting tired. So I don't know how far we go between, like, is this still Andrew's team? Like, it's really hard to judge where Spurs are. All I'll say is I think there are moments, such as yesterday, where I do listen to that rhetoric of he is still that Brentford manager, of sometimes the naivety, you know, if he turns up to Brentford and plays like that and they get played off the park, no one's going to say anything. But your Spurs manager, so it's a different kettle of fish.
What does being a Spurs manager mean? Because
but what is success for us?
A Spurs manager won a trophy, got sacked.
Yeah. But then that's the problem with us as Spurs fans, is sometimes we'll go...
We bring Conte and we moan that the football is boring, yeah? We sacked Jose Mourinho before a final.
But it swings too much. Yeah. We've gone from Mourinho to Conte, then we went back to attacking football, then we've gone back to a bit more defensive. So it's like, what do we actually want? What do we see as success? What do we want as fans? Because at the moment, I'm sitting here and a lot of some Spurs fans and Ange fans are going, we shouldn't have sacked him. No, I still stand by that we should have sacked him. But at the moment, we're just questioning whether this appointment was right. I'll give him to the end of the season because I want him to see him do well. I think he deserved that, you know, he deserved this go at a top job. But you've got to sit there and think, like, it has to be better. Because I kept going last season, this squad isn't 17th. But at the moment, it does look like it is 17th again.
I think for me, it comes down to, yes, he hasn't won anything when he's at Brentford, but, and I don't want to use this comparison because it's that lot down the road. Mikel Arteta didn't win anything before he was
under Pep Guardiola.
He was under Pep Guardiola. What Thomas Frank has won is admiration for being a top manager who deserves a top job, which now, in my opinion, he's got. He just needs to tweak his mentality. We've spoken about this before.
But isn't that very similar to Graham Potter when he went to Chelsea? He didn't have
It does give me a lot of that, yeah.
You know, it's like, you're Chelsea manager now. You can't be having banter in press conferences.
But you can't have 12 league games, unbeaten in the Champions League, by the way. I know we're not playing the top teams. It will remain to be seen on Wednesday. We're recording on Monday, on Wednesday against PSG. But unbeaten in the Champions League. We are 12 games through the league. We're 3 points off the top four. It's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah.
This is a manager who has never experienced Champions League, never experienced the pressures of a job like he's at now. He was always Mr. Brentford, like no matter, you couldn't do anything wrong there. He needs time to be able to adapt to that and tweak his mentality, as Sonny said, and he's so right, we've spoken about this before. The going out and not losing as opposed to showing what we can do and going and take it to teams. That takes a little bit of time in yourself as well.
And it takes time for him to believe in the players that he's got and what he's seen. And just to correct you, Mr. Brentford is actually Chibadi G. We've had our say on what we think of Thomas Frank and how much patience we got with him. Let's have a listen to Spurs fan GJ, called up my show with Alan Pardew, the final word we catch on Sundays at 6:30. And he had this to say about the Danish Tony Pulis. How are we, GJ?
Not very good, chaps. Not very good.
Just quickly though, did you expect anything other than that result going into that game against Arsenal when we have seen what we've seen in recent weeks in terms of the players, what we're putting in going forward? Did you think it was going to go any other way?
No, absolutely not, Madge. And I predicted we'd lose 2-0. I was delighted to see that Gabriel was missing because for me he's like their. I know they've got some key players in the spine of their team, but for me he's like the key man. But there's a way you lose, and you know, like it's a North London derby, and Thomas Frank, right? I mean, he's looking more and more like a Danish Tony Pulis. Absolute caveman tactics.
You'll probably get it tonight, but already we've had people coming on here saying, Levy, it's his fault. He's gone now, Daniel. He's gone. You know what I mean? You just got to forget about him now and get on with it, what they've got. And Thomas Frank has to. He's got to change this quickly or he's out. He's in the dole queue.
Yeah, well, the problem is he's still Daniel Levy's, recruitment. It's still Daniel Levy's squad
You've
of
got to do
players.
something with them.
Yeah,
You've got to make it difficult.
Go. Have a go. I don't know why we ain't playing Pape Sarr in midfield. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, the lad's got legs. He's got energy.
Jamie, I saw your 2 games at the start of the season, mate. I'll tell you the truth. I thought you were different class against PSG and against Manchester City.
Yeah.
And that was your 3 in the middle of the park. I think it was Ben Cantur and Papa Sarr and Paulinho. I thought you looked really, really solid in the middle of the park and had a bit about you.
Yeah, absolutely, Ali. I don't know why we've gone away. It's like we've all of a sudden completely lost belief. Thomas Frank's lost belief that we can win a game of football by going after a team. Because at the start of the season, Man City, all right, we lost to PSG in the end, but it was a great performance. Start of the season, we were going after teams. We had energy. There was a bit of bite about us, a bit of steel in midfield. Now, it's like we've completely gone away from that, and we're just sitting on the edge of our box and hoping that we don't get beat. I mean, he's playing a dangerous game, Thomas Frank. He could get sacked.
Yeah.
We're all experts after the event. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But for me, I definitely think the best formation's a solid 4. The 3 I've mentioned in the middle of the park.
I mean, how can you turn up, Andy? How can you turn up at Arsenal and play Man United's formation? You see what I mean? Who everyone's been slaughtering. How bad it is. You got no legs in midfield. You can't get around. You get overrun. Wingers having a field day. And we rocked up at Arsenal and played. We didn't have a shot. Not even a shot off target. We didn't have a shot in the first half. It was embarrassing to watch.
No, it was sad. Jamie, good luck tonight. I'm no doubt they're going to get pelters, mate. Cundy's going to revel in it.
Pelters. Yeah, I'm going to get pelters. Piers Morgan, listen, I've got to take it on the chin today, and what's Piers know about football?
Jamie, nice one. Jamie,
thanks for coming on, pal.
But what do you guys think? That is what I want to know. What do you think of Thomas Frank? Do you want him sacked or do you want him to stay in a job? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you have enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, like the video as well. And until next time, which will be a reaction, hopefully, to the PSG game, hopefully from Paris as well. But until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye.